Welcome to my new book, Deception in the Modern Age. Light has been shining through the cracks, bringing you closer and closer to what I believe is the truth. Now, just because you've made it this far does not mean you have made it to the final truth. I believe God has kept me alive thus far, so I will remain humble and acknowledge that some questions have no answers. Sometimes, the best you can do is learn as much as possible, speak with many people about their thoughts and feelings, work with ideas, experiment, and explore. But at the end of the day, there are mysteries in this world that, in my view, will remain mysteries until we leave this magical place. I consider myself incredibly fortunate to be on this earth. Every single day is a new adventure, full of new obstacles to overcome and different people to converse with. I believe I am here for a reason, just as I believe everyone on this earth is here for a reason. If you can figure out your purpose or get closer to understanding it, I believe you align yourself more closely with the universe and center yourself with God and His plan. Let me clear the air before we delve into anything deeper. I am not a Christian, Catholic, Muslim, Jew, Hindu, or adherent of any organized religion. I believe in God, a creator of the universe, the heavens, and the earth. However, I do not believe that Jesus is the only way to salvation. I do not believe you must believe in a man named Jesus to be saved. In my view, that story was handed to us by the Knights Templar, who spread Christianity through force. I do not follow the church, synagogue, temple, or any institution. I do not think these are prerequisites for reaching a divine state. In fact, I believe concepts like heaven and hell are fabricated entirely, and are hand-me-down stories from different mythologies. Before you disagree, get angry, or stop reading, please understand that I will explain at length throughout this book why I feel justified in making such bold statements. Every topic and idea presented in this book is controversial. I can honestly say this might be one of the most controversial books I've ever encountered. It is a culmination of everything I've learned, through seminars, lectures, websites, books, libraries, and endless resources. I owe credit to Jordan Maxwell, Crow777radio.com, Albert Pike, Manly P. Hall, and the endless authors and historians that tried desperately to get this information out to the public. The most fascinating part of researching and writing a book like this is realizing that many of these topics rely on common sense. A little research, combined with basic critical thinking, is often all that's needed. The problem we face today is the final stage of a brainwashing process so deep and so long-standing that many people can't see it, and some refuse to see it, even when they can. They have been working on us for a long time, and we've reached a point where most people are crammed full of beliefs. These beliefs are ingrained from school, family, and life experiences. They're embedded so deeply that when you challenge them, people often react with anger. This phenomenon amazes me because many of these beliefs are based on lies and misinformation. The issue is that most people are not educated about what they're told to believe. They're simply told to believe it. And because everyone else does, they comply. For example, most people don't know why they believe in the globe model of the Earth, other than being taught it in school. The question becomes, how could they lie to the whole world? How could everyone be lying? How? This book is a beam of sunlight breaking through a cloudy day. It is my attempt to encourage people to think for themselves and make their own decisions based on facts and logic. I want readers to explore the evidence that we have been lied to, manipulated, socially engineered, enslaved, and taken advantage of, all with our permission. We've been too busy listening to music, attending concerts, obsessing over styles, cars, jewelry, fame, jobs, and sports. We've walked away from helping others, building and creating out of love. We've abandoned learning, knowledge, God, creativity, and nature, all for the sake of material possessions. I fell for the tricks and the lies just like everyone else. The only difference is that I'm willing to admit I was deceived. Many people out there refuse to acknowledge that they've been duped. This book is for them, for everyone who dares to question, think, and seek the truth. As a truther, I feel like the most important thing in the world is the truth. When you begin to understand all religions are man-made ideas and God is inside of each and every one of us, you can begin to heal from the brainwashing, and start to build a foundation of truth, which will act as a sturdy base for you to form a true identity, based on truth and God. Psalm 146 verse 3. The Bible verse that says, "Do not put your trust in princes, in mortal men, who cannot save." It blows my mind how many people read the Bible, trust that the Bible is the Word of God Himself, but still do not listen to what the book is actually saying. When I read, "Do not put your trust in princes, in mortal men, who cannot save," I take it quite literal. Do not put your trust and faith in a mortal man, for he will lie to you and deceive you. I believe that line in the Bible is one of the most important lines in the book. This quote reminds me of the quote by Napoleon Bonaparte, "History is a set of lies agreed upon." Now that is a quote worth remembering. History is, of course, his story, and his story is always going to be written by the victors. I find it truly fascinating that in 2025 we have millions of people believing in complete nonsense and make-believe. We are living in a world of deception, from the very moment we open our eyes. Right off the rip, we are being lied to, tricked, and deceived. The second we come into this world, our parents sign our name on our birth certificate, unknowingly signing us up for a life of slavery. I will dive deep into this idea, and how as an American citizen we are merely employees of a corporation. This beautiful country I was born in, known as the United States of America, is nothing more than a corporation, which again, I will later explain. Why would someone lie to us from childhood? The answer to that question, in my opinion, is pretty simple. If you are busy learning fake information that is far from the truth, it is going to be more difficult for you to understand what is actually going on. I have used this metaphor many times, but I believe it is a good one, so I will use it again. I believe the controllers of our world have placed we the people or citizens of the world, at the children's table. The little kids' table is where we belong, according to the elite members of the world. When the elite members of society look at a normal person like me or you, they do not see another human being with a family, with loved ones that care about them. All they see is an uneducated bag of meat and bones. We are the profane, and to them, we do not even deserve to know the truth.